need to say a few words before we jump in, because we hear the word power, right? There are lots of powers, many different kind of powers, and different levels of powers. You also might have received the power transmissions from great lamas. So I just want to place this occasion in the context, this specific power in conjunction with Vajrayogini in a single form. Even in this Helka Tantra, we have a single form Vajrayogini, single Helka, and also Helka Vajrayogini Yavayam power. Those three kinds. So in order to not to confuse you, this is just one single Vajrayogini you are so familiar with, and this is a kind of sequential thing. You already received the empowerment, already received the commentaries, then the transmissions you will receive, and then commentaries and so forth. Then you can practice. In terms of context, this one is called the instruction on the method for transferring consciousness to the higher realm. Vajrayogini's Dakini land, Pure Land, is a unique method, unique feature of the highest Yoga Tantra. There are 4 Tantras in terms of classification. This belongs to the highest Yoga Tantra. It is taught in the Chakra Sambhara and the Hevajra Tantra. So this is the highest of the highest levels of the practice. And even in the highest Yoga Tantra, this belongs to the so-called completion stage. At this moment, many of you have been practicing the generation stage. Then we're going to move to the completion stage. So that's step by step. Although, of course, during the generation stage, we incorporate the completion stage practice. The higher level is called the completion stage. So this belongs to the completion stage. And even in completion stage, there are so-called 6 yogas of Naropa. Many of you may know. Not the exact sequentially, but the basis. First yoga is the Tummo, inner heat. Right? That is the basis of this one, this power. So as you know, 6 yogas of Naropa are all completion stages around Naropa. Around that time, there are lots of different kind of completion stage practice. Then he condensed or incorporated and created the 6 dharmas or 6 yogas of Naropa. First comes this Tummo, inner heat. Really Vajrayogini practice is emphasizing Tummo. Tummo is the basis of everything. Lama Tsongkhapa is very clear about that. So first yoga Tummo, clear light, illusionary body, conscious transferences, power, and then it's called forceful projections. You don't need to know those things, but the other 2 things are there too, and the Bardo Yoga and so forth. But what I mean is that power is a higher levels of practice. So right now we are receiving the blessing, so to speak, so that when time comes, we can implement. That also need to say something about. Power is called the spiritual yogic suicide as well. You may heard in Tibet. Tibet was occupied by Chinese communists under the Chinese communist 1959 or something. Okay, around that time, there are lots of monks did power to leave their body behind. Anyway, this is a kind of controversial practice in that sense as well. But for us, really the motivation counts. And also it's important to know this context, why we practice power at this point. The time to practice power is right now. Because first of all, we don't know when death comes. And secondly, we don't know when we get sick and we are not able to practice anything. Right now we have a healthy body. We receive a blessing and trained. And then in the future, when time comes, we will learn the sign of the death. For example, when you get cancer or terminal illness or something like that, a doctor announced, okay, you have a 6 months life, 6 months to go. So during that time, you start practicing more focused way, concentrate, you trained yourself, something like that. Usually time at which the actual consciousness transference should be made is the time comes. At least 6 months before one's death. For that, you have to know you have to be able to read the sign in indicating the unfolding of one's lifespans. In a way, I was fortunate. I was able to see all the signs. My mom last exactly 6 months with her. Slowly, gradually. And so something like that was oneself. We have to know. All the great Lama, they know and prepare, and even they know that when they go, they pass. Anyway, so those kind of things involved. So I just want to say these controversial things. Don't do the actual one. But at our level, we don't need to worry too much about that, because we are not that advanced and we haven't accomplished too much and all these things. But it's good to receive the transmission and start the process a little bit and learn. And sometimes we do the weekend or the intensive practice, then see the sign. Like here, we have a Brahma aperture, and get the little hole. In the Tibetan tradition, they stick the kind of straws and stand up when you practice more. As I said, inner heat tumo practice is very important. Here the quote, one ties the doors with the vase breathing. So vase breathing is the basis of tumo, vase breathing technique, and purifies the channel, which is the door. By means of the vase breathing, today we have to do a little bit to withdraw the vital energies, prana, flowing to the various doors. Right now, it goes to various doors, such as those sensory powers, all these places. So we need to redirect these energies and prana into the central channel. We really need to focus and gather the prana into central channel. Then we gonna focus on the certain spot and with certain syllables. In this case, there are many different kind of powers as well. This is a deep subject, actually. This is not the place to really go into this completion stage level of the practice here. But I just want you to know a little bit so that we have a context, and we have a good motivation, and we have a successful receiving of the transmission and so forth. And how about the benefit? I just want to say a few benefits. Many of you have received Vajrayogini empowerment, so you want to deepen your connection to Vajrayogini. Right? This is a perfect, create a connection, deep connection with one of the highest yoga tantra, in this case Vajrayogini. This is a great way to make deeper connection, personal connection to Vajrayogini. You get the personal invitation, and also you can really connect from your side and from her side, both then become one with her through this practice. Maybe that's one of them. And other than that, there are so many. For example, purify the obstacles and fulfill wishes, and purify the mind of negative karmas, karmic seed. This is a deep subject, right? Involve the subtle body. Subtle body is right now all kind of knots and this and that. That is your negative karma manifesting in that way. So karmic knots. There are many different kinds of obscuration, coarse one to subtle one. So karmic obscuration is quite subtle. It's not that easy to really remove that. But this is in the subtle body level, these knots and all the kinks and all these things, to loosen it and straighten it and gather the prana in there. Of course, Truko and all the physical exercise involved, but at least in the meditation level, you are able to do that, then start removing this karmic obscuration. So that's one thing. Especially karmic obscuration that might ripen as a lower realm or lower rebirth or a negative rebirth in the future. Then purification of course negative karma and so forth. That's another benefit. Then of course, as I said, through this practice, at the time of your death, your personal death, you will be able to transfer consciousness into the heart of Vajrayogini and effortlessly travel to the pure land of the Dakinis, Dakini land. This is one method to go to the pure land. So in that case, your death will bear nothing more than just the name death. This word death does not have a meaning as you joyfully join the Dakinis. aligned with Dakinis to go to Dakini land. So that's the kind of Pure Land idea, right? Do you believe? Do you trust? Do you have confidence? Our masters, our previous practitioners or previous believer or devotees did that, and they left the painting. In Japan, we see lots of those paintings. Anyways, Powa is one of those things. Very powerful. Also help the deceased to take the good rebirth. So once you become an expert in this, you can help others. You can meditate. You can train. Then you are able to at least can help to calm and soothe the dying person, to comfort them and to take a good rebirth. And also you will have a confidence in this life. I'm okay. Whenever death comes, that's okay. I can do something about that. I'm well prepared. When kind of Yuho happens, I'm okay. I'm training every day or something like that. And also accumulation of merit. By doing that, this connection creating with the awakened mind, you can create a tremendous merit. Accumulation merit for one's attainment and transformation. That's just a few among many benefits. You know what? But the thing is, the best thing is this, what you got right now. Of course, we receive transmissions and all those things today, but you have to do the best to extend your life. This precious life you got as much as possible. Try to make effort to extract the essence of your precious life. If sickness or something happens, right, kind of overpowers you, but you do your best to extend, try to recover your precious human life you got this life. Then that is not possible, then you apply this one. You train, concentrate. There are more to this, but there are two kinds of powers, or many kinds of powers, I said, with support and without support. We put that without support for now. Right now we are doing VAJRAYOGINI POWA, specific one, composed by the Paponka de Chenimbo in the context of Vajrayogini practice. Just with support. We use the seed syllable and transferring the stage by stage. Rest in your direct experience right now. Echo of direct experience, always important, especially after this kind of transmission. It's important to shield your experience and practice with your dedication. Appreciation for this opportunity, the spiritual fortune I call each of us was able to make it today. How auspicious, how fortunate what you experienced today. Feels a little more lighter, not attached to this mundane, trivial things, day-to-day basis. We've been caught up by all these dramas of life. None of them will have meaning. None of them will hold us, sustain us, always changing, ups and downs. So this might be one of the benefits to practice this kind of profound practice. Our mind become at ease and a little more lighter. Also receive energy to put ourselves, whatever time left here on this planet, we can put our effort and time, energy toward this something meaningful. Outcome may not ripen right away, but the investment. This is the best investment we can do. So this is a long history. This for lineage, ear whisper lineage come to us. It's good to receive the lineage blessing. So as I always said, lineage is a repository of blessing. So we want to make connection. Each practice is not standalone. Sometimes out of context we practice power and something like that. But our lineage really emphasizes this stream of blessing, pure river. So we want to receive that as well.